Atlantic Television Network Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to provide solutions that will benefit humanity. On today's Society Watch, we are looking at numbers of issues starting from Edo State. Commissioners, residents, monarchs past set ablaze over burial disagreement on labor. Federal employees suffer as government neglects salary payments. On Naira abuse, outright sentenced to 6 months for defacing, trampling currency. On privacy inversion, JAM CBT manager detained over inappropriate conversation with underage candidates. On security, PDP governor urged FG to create state police force. These are the issues we'll be looking at today. And when we return from this short break, I will introduce my guest to you, a public affairs analyst. To stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and I have with me in the studio a public affairs analyst, John Kelly. Thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right, our first story is from Edo State. Residents and locals in Ojo community, Akoko, Edo State, Edo local government area of Edo State are gripped with fear following an attack where on-rush youth burned the residence of the Commissioners for Social Development and Gender, Christabel Ekwe. The assault also targeted the palace of Olojo of Oja Oba DS Lawani. The violence is linked to tension over the traditional sky burial practice associated with the particular shrine in the community, where corpses are either left at the shrine or deposited off in the hill around the area. The residents stated that the trouble started on Monday when a woman died, and after some findings, it was said that she was killed by the shrine. So the community wanted to give the woman the sky burial. The source added, however, the traditional ruler and the commissioner who had called for the phrasings out of this practice were alleged to have invited security agencies to stop the sky burial for the woman. In the process, the youth clashed with the security agencies, attacked them with stone, and the security agencies left in their anger. The youth attacked the palace of the traditional ruler, vandalized it, and burned its SUV parked in the compound, while the residence of the commissioner was set ablaze completely. I wonder what would have happened if the security agencies did not leave the scene. There would have been bloodshed, no doubt. No one knows what would happen. What would have happened if we are currently living in fear over the acts of erosion carried out by the youth, while appreciating the proactive roles and intervention of the executive chairman of the Akoko Edo local government, Tajuddin Alada, the chairman of Okpamiri Descendants Union, Dr. Kingsley Okodayo, and his team for their respective peace movements. We crave the indulgence and the understanding of all critical stakeholders of Oja community to continue to maintain peace and harmony while Okpatra consults with the relevant stakeholders in the local government, including the Akoko Edo Traditional Rulers Councils, to resolve all the contending issues with a view to finding a lasting solution as soon as it is practicable. When contacted on Thursday, the commissioner said she could only talk at a particular time while effort to talk to the royal fathers yield no results. Similarly, the Anambra State government has bound the depositing of corpses in a mortuary or any other place beyond 2 months from the date of death. This is contained in a law enacted by the Anambra State House of Assembly. The law is to control burial and funeral ceremonies activities in the state. Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo commended the Assembly for the legislation. Anambra Burial Law is a very progressive law to remove the burden and pressure on the poor as well as liberate women from oppressive practices during burial, Soludo stated. By this law, all mortuary attendants are to report to the Ministry of Health of any corpse which have stayed beyond 1 month from the date it was deposited. It warned that any person who contravened the provision will be fined 100,000 or 6 months imprisonment or both. According to the new law, there shall be no public display of caskets for fabrication on and sale. They state that whosoever is found guilty will pay a fine of 50,000 or 1 month imprisonment or both. Also, the law looked into the registration of burial and funeral ceremonies. It stipulated that all burials and funeral ceremonies of indigenous deceased person in the state shall be registered with the town union of the indigenous deceased person. Also, the registration fee for each burial and funeral ceremony shall be 1,500 naira. Also, the new law warned against blocking of road and streets during burial ceremony. It advised that this can only be done with permission from the appropriate local government authority. Let's start from Edo State. Now, we know that anything that has to do with tradition, it's very crucial, very important. But we are living in a generation where we no longer take those things necessary because we feel that a lot of persons were put in bondage. Now, in Edo State, they believe that the person, the woman that died, was killed by the shrine, maybe the gods or whatsoever, and they intended to take her there to do their normal sky burial. But the commissioner, having known that this is a tradition, just came out of the blue to say this will not take place. They don't want this to go on again. And then the monarch, because this kind of thing, we believe that it should have due process. You don't just come up and end tradition, something that has been in existence, let's say 2,000 years ago, as normally used. So what do you think about their action? And then they have actually burned down their houses. They have paid for what they did not bargain for. So what is your position on that story? You know,
this issue is strictly politics interfering with culture. You know, when you decide to make politics and culture, when you mix it up, it causes conflicts like this. But we will understand that every culture is being made by a human. Every tradition, it's humans as at a given time decided to make it a law. And the same people that made it a law can also remove it. Now, if this is their normal tradition, this is what they do. I wouldn't want to talk more of the commissioner because he's a politician. He has traveled out, he has seen a lot of things, and then he feels maybe that is what should also happen. But I want to go straight to the monarch, who is the king or the chief or whatever in that area. He should understand that, first, his stew is traditionally recognized, not politically recognized. He's not a politician, he's a traditionalist. Now, if his job is tradition, if the reason he is there is tradition, and he is bending the same tradition, does it even make any sense? But we know that, like you stated, these rules were actually imposed by some persons, right? Yes.
But they did not just come out and impose that.
No.
It took due process.
Yes, it took due. That's what I'm saying.
And it wasn't not supposed to be done that way.
That's the major thing. That's why I said I will blame the monarch more than the commissioner. The commissioner will just wake up because he feels he has government power, he has the military, he has the police, he has power. He can just come and say, don't do this or do this. This is this. But the monarch should understand the tradition more. That it took process, it took time. People of the days, of the old, these are the things they did that kept the community going till now. Now, these things, probably for one reason or the other in the days back, protected them from certain things. Now, you just came up now, you're the current monarch now, you did not go through due process to see how you can amend it because it just happened. Maybe you have a relationship with the lady involved, or maybe you just feel sympathy for the lady involved, you just want to bend law. Laws are automatic, they are not bends. If you want to amend law, you amend law. If you want to follow law, you follow due process. You don't just wake up and decide things of such magnitude. So they should even be thanking God that they are even alive. And that's the first thing they should be thanking God, because had it been the shrine is as powerful as they claim it is, I think the shrine should be the one fighting for themselves. But the tradition may not be right. The tradition somewhat may also be right, but we are Africans. And so long we are Africans, we should first understand our background. So what is our primary background? It's tradition. The whites have their own tradition. We have our own tradition. Just like Christians and Muslims. Every Christian will tell you that once your person dies, you don't bury the person instantly. But every Muslim will tell you once they die, just bury them. These are two different backgrounds. So they have their own orientation, you have your own orientation. So you don't just wake up one morning and say, this is now it. It will take a while for the people to adjust, because their brain, their ancestors were buried that way. They believe, just like for instance now, everybody believes that, mostly Christians, we believe that once you die and you are a Christian, you go to heaven. And somebody just come up now and tell you that if you die, you're not going to any heaven. It will take a while for your brain to assimilate this, for your brain to change from it. So I think they were just too in a hurry to make such. They should have allowed that case pass and make the law. After they've enacted the law, they now start following the law gradually before it now becomes a law. Because whatever is a law, that's the law.
But don't you think that the people have also taken laws into their hands by burning down the commissioner's apartment and also the monarch's way?
They've taken laws into their hands. They've taken laws into their hands, yes. But the commissioner and the monarch also took laws into their own hands first, because they breached the law of the people.
By bringing security personnel to stop.
By stopping the people from doing their regular rituals. You know, just like for instance now you see a church and they are praying, and you now wake up one morning and say, church, you just come to the church. Say, hey, stop praying. Nobody should pray again inside this church. You come, they will mob you now. They will mob you inside the church. So this is their own tradition. If you want to do such a thing, it takes process. It takes time. So they've done wrong. I'm not encouraging what the people have done. Burning the house of the monarch is wrong in their part. It's also wrong for the commissioner and the monarch, because even in court, even in law, there are two types of law. There's a customary law and there's the main law. So customarily a traditional law. So if you go there, they will always ask you one question: how is your arrangement with your traditional head? So the traditional head has a say in the customary law. So they always have a way of communicating. Let's say the traditional chief now, maybe they pass a judgment on, maybe you're dragging a piece of land. They will always refer to whichever is the judgment traditionally. So I think that's where they made a serious mistake, yes, themselves.
All right, another interesting one is from Anambra State. The Anambra State government has banned the depositing of corpses in a mortuary or any other place beyond 2 months from the date of death. Anyone who found guilty will be fined 100,000 or 6 months imprisonment, or both. Again, no public display of casket or fabrication, and whether for sale or for fabrication, anyone found guilty will pay a fine of 50,000 or 1 month imprisonment, or better still, both. And again, all burial and funeral ceremonies in the community, in the state, must be registered with 1,000 500 naira. Without this, no burial will take place. We talked about, we just talked about Edo State. And we have something similar. We are staying we're in Africa where we feel that when one died, we should give a befitting burial. You know, we have to keep the person prepared for something huge. And then the governor is saying it cannot pass 2 months now. You will pay a fine of 100,000 or you spend 6 months imprisonment or both. What do you have to say about this?
You know, it really baffles me most times when we make certain laws. You know, we want to act like the whites. We want to behave the way the whites behave. You know, this is a way of life, and living the life is a choice, how I choose to live my life. If I decide to keep my person in the mortuary for a year, I don't see how that concerns the governor or the government. I still don't understand what their business is. A president in America, I can't really recall his name right now, when he died, he was carried in a train around the entire United States of America. Do you think that took place one day? No, it took time. Now, I want to also ask the governor, if I have a opportunity, he himself dies, and they dig ground and put him inside that day, will he be happy with all the money he has made? He will want them to do state burial. The federal government should come and do state burial. The people, that is what he will also want. But, you know, burial should be made a thing of choice. I know he has seen this entire thing, and then he's trying to see how he can save costs for people, because burial has become a burden upon people. People spend a whole lot of money, and he feels sympathy for the people. But when you feel sympathy for the person that doesn't have, how about the person that has?
Okay, before I ask this question, let's talk about the caskets or for fabrication. They don't want to see it out there.
What about for burial?
If you keep it out there, you are going to pay a fine of 50,000, or you spend 1 month in prison.
No, see, I want to really understand this area well. Is it just for fabrication and for display for sale, or is it also for burial?
And sell.
Okay, okay. That one is cool. It's cool because one thing is, when you're doing your business, you should at least understand the motive of your business. Okay. Casket is understood to be a thing of death. So when you expose it, when you're selling casket, all you just need to do is get an apartment now, put the casket inside, write a signboard outside. I know you want to advertise it, but I don't think. Okay, I want to also ask the governor one question. Has it also stopped it being advertised? Does it also implies when you want to advertise it on TV? Because if you say I should not display it, I may as well video it and advertise it there. The whole world will still see it now. So on the streets anymore, so they should just take it inside and then maybe write something outside. That one is more amicable.
All right, another one. This is quite interesting, you know. You know, we are in a place where we don't even know who his salary is still being sent to different accounts. You can't possibly tell whether, because we have a situation where a particular man, I mean, the company still keeps sending salary, but they didn't know that the man is gone. And the son was generous enough to return it. That my father died months ago, and they keep sending salary, so I'm returning it. So the governor is saying that all burial funerals must be registered with 1,500. Do you think this is a way of, noting the numbers of persons that are still alive or dead in the states?
Yeah. Actually, this is one of the best regarding this whole death issue. Because you see, Nigeria is talking about census again. We couldn't have even been in this state now if we had been keeping record from the last census. All we needed to do is, each child that you get bed in the hospital or wherever, keep record. Okay, we had one child dies, you keep record. This one died too. So if there is record, then I think that way everything. But where I would see these things to have issue is the money involved. The
1,500.
1,500.
Is that the whole lot?
Sure. Let me say 30% of Nigerians don't even have 1,500 to pay for who has died.
But they have money to do
The burial. Yes, that's the truth. Because you now come to them and say your person has died. Come and pay money. Maybe let's say it's a young person that died. Very young. Maybe a young baby dies now. And then you want to go and bury the young baby. They now come and start telling you now, say, come and pay 1,500. You just turn and look the person. Are you normal? You know, but if it's now a law, so the thing will circulate, stable. But this is the best step. So to keep record, this is the best. This is the best step the government.
Best step, but it should be registered for free.
You should be for free. For now, should be for free because people may not want to pay because I just lost someone. And okay, let me give you one instance. My elder brother died in UPTH. So when he died, then coronavirus was still going on. They told the nurse, one of the nurses, use your syringe, and because he cannot swallow medicine. So they say grind the medicine, put it in your syringe and insert it through, because you have to put pipe through his nose. So put the pipe through the nose and then insert the medicine in. She didn't even do it. She was too lousy. I even went to her multiple times. She was too lousy to even do it till after a whole long while he died. So when he died, you know, normally they'll come and take the corpse to the morgue first to register it in the morgue. Say, okay, we want to retrieve the corpse. The woman said no, that they took COVID-19 samples. The result is not out, that we cannot take him out of the hospital first. I said, you know, the anger, that's one normal anger that is inside people when you lose a loved one. So the anger just came in me, and I had to remember all the things she did. Instantly, I remembered all. And I reminded her all. It raised a serious scene to the point the management of the hospital had to come. And they were trying to calm me. They just smuggled her off the place because I saw the anger.
I understand what you mean. But again, what if about the burial? What about those that have money?
Yeah.
Would they be happy that they should just throw them away like that and all of that? I remember this time during this COVID-19 that you just brought in here. Anyone that goes down goes 6 feet immediately.
Yes, that's true.
There was no room for extravagant things. Maybe then after a while, but there was nothing like ceremony, like keeping someone in the mortuary. There was nothing of such. And then, I mean, it did not affect anyone's economy. It did not affect anyone's family. Everything went on well. And then you equally talked about the Muslims. When someone died, just go in. So why is it that the governor is talking about this and you are saying that you are not comfortable with that policy because would the governor want to have that kind of burial? What is even befitting burial?
You know, befitting burial is a state of the mind.
State of the mind?
Yes. Everything in this life is a state of the mind.
So if one is buried that same day, it will
somewhat to other persons that is the best burial, somewhat to other persons that is nothing. You've not done anything. I've seen a situation whereby someone died many years ago. Their grandparents died, but the grandchildren now, that is, even their own parents are even dead though. But the grandchildren now are being forced to do the burial of their grandparents.
That's what the governor is trying to prevent. It's trying to prevent this burden. So when you are saying that it's not okay, we equally know that there are personnel that are from these northern parts of Nigeria that when it comes to they're financially buoyant, they are good to go, their family is wealthy. But it doesn't stop because it is a culture that was implemented and is still ongoing. That the moment this happens, it goes down. So why is it that the governor is bringing this? Because we believe that when you see something good in a particular community, a state or country, you should leverage on that. You should learn from it, bring it to your own state. And maybe that is what Governor Soludo is doing. And you are saying that it is not okay. What is your reason? Because you have not really given me your reason.
Ask Governor Soludo himself, if anybody dies today, will he buy casket for the people to use and bury the person? What if the person dies now and the family don't have money to buy a casket now?
But he has given 2 months. 2
months. And 2 months is okay. What if the person dies and your salary per month is maybe 15,000 naira? You don't know that people are still earning 15,000 or 20,000 as salary, and that 2 months is 40,000 naira. You want to eat? So you see, when you make laws, you should try to understand the people you are making the laws for. When you talk about the knots, they are used. Okay, watch the knot. When the person dies, they just wrap the person. They don't buy caskets. They just wrap the person, dig about 3 feet or so, and just put the person and just cover it. But here you must buy casket. How much is casket? Does he even know? If he had said that anybody that dies, come and collect free casket and bury the person and collect 100,000, people will be burying people every day now. You know, that's why even the one he thought about the money 1.5. I said many people will not even pay that money. Many people won't pay. People don't have this money. If you're making law, it's a process. More especially the laws that have to do with culture, something that you are used to. You grew up, your parents did it. You saw your ancestors do it, you saw your parents do it, you heard stories about it, and now it's your turn. So, you say it's changing.
So now that this law has been implemented, do you think it will be difficult for people to follow?
Very difficult. Very difficult.
And you think it will stand?
Well, he's coming. Because I've seen many laws they've made, and the laws didn't even stand.
All right, let's see how it goes, whether this one is going to stand or not. Our next story is on labor. Unrest is spreading among federal civil service employees, including ministry departments and agencies, due to the non-payment of January salaries. The situation is worsening by outstanding wage award totaling 35,000. The delay is attributed to the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation inability to finalize the 2024 appropriation on the government's integrated financial management system platform, preventing the release of the personnel's warrant for January 2024 salaries. The General Secretary of the Nigerian Civil Service Union, Bomi Mohammed Ibrahim, confirmed the non-payments of the union members. A staff federal secretary at Abuja who lamented the situation told reporters a federal civil servant are frustrated with a delayed payment of the January salary. Everybody knows what is going on in Nigeria today. The economic situation is unbearable, all because of government policies. The 35,000 wage award promised after the removal of subsidy on petrol was only paid in September. Now the government has refused to pay us January salary, thereby compounding our woes. How do you expect us to meet our responsibilities to our families, including school fees and other necessities? We cannot continue like this. Now, the issues of... let's look at it this way. The governments have been saying that they are here for the people. They have been saying that they have it is people first in mind before any other thing. You can imagine that January salary has not been paid. And then we have our president making trips, traveling out. That is how he started since this is his administration. And he's saying that I am going here because I want to collaborate with this country to be able to combat this insecurity in the country, to sustain economic in the country. He keeps traveling. We have heard, this is not policies, but we have heard where SUV vehicles have been gotten for some of these people. And then we have laborers laboring, and salaries has not been paid. Is this how we are expecting a better Nigeria?
Well, you see, in government policies, more especially here in Nigeria, you just need to see it from whichever way it comes. Just accept it and always expect the unexpected. Because when they start talking about this wage, I looked at it and said, who is going to pay it? Who? Your initial salaries are even a burden on them to pay. They see it as a waste of money, and now you expect them to even add more money and pay you. So I just pray for Nigeria labor. That's just what I can just say to them majorly. I just pray for them because it's really it's not going to be easy for them to release these funds.
Wow, it's quite unfortunate, and we hope that now that they have come out to cry out to the government, that they will release what belongs to them, so that they can be able to carry out their responsibility. School fees, tuition fees are increasing drastically. And I mean, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return after this break. Do stay with us. We have more interesting stories coming your way after. Welcome back. This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. An actress, Oluwadarasimi Omosheyi, has been sentenced to 6 months in prison by the Federal High Court in Ikoyi, Lagos, for spreading and stepping on new naira notes at this social event. Initially pleading not guilty to the 2-count charge filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on February 13, 2023, she later charged her plea to guilty during the resumption hearing, acknowledging the compelling evidence against her. Omosheyi has been granted bail on February 15, 2023. Following a guilty plea, the prosecution counsel Z.B. Atiku called Abubakar Marafa, an operative of the EFCC, to reveal the facts of the matter. Marafa recalled that the defendant was arrested by the officers of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Officers Commission, ICPC, on February 1, 2023, and was handed over to the Commission on February 2, 2023, for further investigation. Now, an actress has just been sentenced to 6 months imprisonment for spreading stamping on new notes. Yeah, for evidence of the doubt, Section 21, subsection 3 of the Nigerian law has stated that anyone found spraying money, let me put it this way, rough handling money, such act is punishable by Nigerian law. And I mean, this is offense that is committed by everyone. Have you ever folded money before? Be truthful.
Folding it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I haven't, because I know when I want to put off, I usually hide the money to prove.
All right, so now we have one person here that is going in for it. Do you think this will serve as a deterrent to all the Nigerians? I mean, to Nigerians in particular, because it seems we don't really take these parts of the law seriously. You see people rough handling money, folding it, squeezing it, stepping on it, spraying it. The spraying is even, I mean, it's something that you see daily, because every Saturday you will see it in a wedding occasion and all of those. But it seems nothing has been done rightly. So do you think with this one now, Nigerians will learn?
Well, I think every action taken is for others to also learn. So whatever happens to any other person, except you don't want to learn, if not, you have to learn from other person's experience. First, I see no reason why you should rough handle the notes. It doesn't make any logical sense, because this is something that moves from one hand to the other. You don't even know where that money is going to reach. It's moving from your hands now. It's going to the next person. It may even move and get to the governor's hand. That's how the currency moves. So if the currency becomes a problem, if the currency becomes now a serious problem, how then do we now use it? We are shouting that we have shortage of naira, we have shortage of cash, we have this. The ones we've been printing, where are they? You see that these ones now continue to get spoiled, get bad, because of the way we handle it. Some persons we even come, you see, I've gotten a note before, and then I saw that they draw human being on it. As in they drew some. I was like, how can somebody draw something like this on money with pen? I was like, why? What is even the person thinking? You sat down, had nothing to do, started drawing on the note, and still spent it. And the money moved and even got to my own hands. So that's wrong. So I think what has happened to her, she's now an scapegoat.
An scapegoat.
Yes, you know, nobody is actually a thief until you have been caught.
You have been caught. All right, for those of you that do not know, or perhaps you know, you didn't take it seriously, I am reminding you again that Nigerian law, Section 21, subsection 3 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007 stipulates that spraying of money, dancing on it, matching it, folding money, rough handling currency. For those of you that do not know, I'm letting you know now that it is punishable under the law by fine or imprisonment, or better still both. So if you know that you were among those that fold money, currency, that rough handle notes, that steps on it, that spray it in an event, social event, be it wedding or whatsoever. You got to be very careful because one person has already gone in for it. And if you are caught, you will still pay fine and will use it to make Nigeria a better place. All right, let's move straight to another story.
Yeah. Well, do you really think they can stop it?
Yes, they can.
The spraying? In occasion?
Of course.
Yoruba occasion?
Because be it any tradition, we believe they can stop because
Okay.
you know, one person has gone like you said.
Yeah, it's a scapegoat.
6 months.
Mm.
You think it's easy to be
No,
behind the
no,
bars
no,
for 6
it's not.
months?
It's not. It's not.
So they will learn from it.
Oh, we hope so. We pray so.
And don't you think the government should make these better still the same way they put all of those things in a sign post,
Yeah.
all those billboards?
Yeah.
They should put it again to remind Nigerians. Because, you know, it seems
Is it everybody they will catch?
it seems the issues of Nigeria is too much that people don't remember some of these laws.
The issue is not too much. The issue is that there are some persons that have too much money that they don't even see these laws.
Oh my God.
So do you think this law will hold everybody? Because I've seen a burial they did in Nigeria here that they could not close doors again because of the money that they've spread inside a house.
But don't try it because you're going for it. All right, the next story. A JAM CVT manager has been arrested for reportedly engaging in an inappropriate online chat with a 15-year-old candidate utilizing information obtained during JAM exam registration. The revelation came to light when the candidate's mother, who registered her daughter using her phone number, received inappropriate messages on her device post-registration. The mother, expressing concern on social media, accused JAM of negligence and data security lapses, triggering an investigation. The CBT manager assessed the phone number from the registration form and initiated a text conversation, mistakenly assuming he was communicating directly with the candidate. Despite being informed of the teenager's age, the manager persisted and advised keeping the communication confidential, sparking outrage on social media. Following the outcry, JAM conducted an internal investigation and collaborated with the law enforcement, resulting in a swift arrest of the accused staff member and an alleged compliance. JAM's ICT consultant Damilola Damiro confirmed the proactive measure taken, stated, starting today, based on the social media reports, we swung into action. We identified the center, and since our system identifies who has registered a candidate, we were able to apprehend both the person that registered the candidate and the person that approached the minor. We have them in custody already, just as you Nigerians that JAM will always swim into action whenever any case against candidate is reported. This is really unfortunate, and you know, do you think the mother did the right thing? Because you know, a lot of persons are always saying that parents do not longer bring up their children in a godly way. That is why the society is like this. That's why they easily get influenced by negative activities in the country. And looking at what the person in question, the JAM manager has done, do you think the parent did the right thing by, calling for the arrest of the person?
Yeah, they did. That's the best thing they've done ever. You know, the last time we talked about what happened in Calabar too. This is almost similarly the same thing. You know, actually, some persons, while in authority, believes they can actually do everything and anything, then go scot-free with it. So, because you have the information of someone, does not give you the right to even assess it. And you also know that the person is a minor, and you want to play with the psychology of the person. If not the mother, if it had been that the girl herself was the person he actually was talking with, do you know how much damage that man could have done? Probably he could have gone there and start promising her heaven and earth that he's going to make her pass the jam, you know, make promises. And the girl may just fall for it because her brain is not still strong yet. But even if the brain is strong and is an adult. Is that the purpose why she dropped her contact there? Why go to her straight? So the parents did the right thing, and JAM has also taken the best step, because if we must sanitize our educational system, we should look at these bad eggs, pick them out, make sure we prosecute them. Make sure we prosecute. If we don't do these things, it will continue. Who knows how long this man has been doing this?
Okay, with what has happened now, yes, because it has actually come to a book now, do you think, because in universities now, like tertiary institutions, we have minors now there. So do you think anything about registration should be their parents' number to be able to curtail some kind of negative habits? And again, when I wanted to do some registration in university, there were some forms I had to pen down my parents' number because they were like, we don't want your number, we want your parents' number. Till today, I do not know why they asked us to do that. Maybe it was to reach our parents if you go against the school rules or something. So do you think it is better to register? And if you do that, you're not following your child to school. So how are we able to? How are we going to work that?
The first thing is, it's not right to use the parents' number to register for the child. The parents' number comes in as next of kin. The child is growing. The child is the one to face whatever is going to face. But the society has made it that, okay, what about parents that are not even educated? Has it been that child's parents were not educated or don't even have a cell phone? Because many parents now don't have cell phones. So which other number are they supposed to have used? So it's not just the number that is the problem. The problem is the system. Parents can actually check. People can check. Even if it's your child's number, your child's phone, you can check. We have minors in the schools now. They should have, because they've started admitting minors into the universities, they should have an organization, they should have a body that will regulate many things, more especially for minors. Check them, ensure they're doing the right thing. I think that's where our education is lacking, because we don't check people anymore. The moment you get to the higher institution, they just abandon you. They just assume you are now a grown-up.
You're a big girl.
Yeah, you're a big girl. You could be, I know there was a time when, is it 14 years old or so, a Nigerian that got admission into a university in one of these countries, like America or so. You know, you see that the system knows that this is the age of this person, and the person is a minor, and the person has gotten admission into a higher institution. They have to follow up. So there are supposed to be a system to follow up such persons, even outside their parents. Because they are coming into a society where people are believed.
Do they want to be followed up? You know,
it's not choice. You don't have a choice.
Okay, it's not choice.
No,
this one is whether you like it or not.
Yes, you don't have to make a choice. Yes, they don't, because your brain is not strong enough. Forget the fact that you know book. You can be an intellectual, but you're not intelligent yet. Some children are very intelligent too. Don't get it twisted. But your brain is not strong to make decisions as much as an adult.
You know, it's more like we have, let's say, 2 doors. That's the first one that is open, so you feel that you're on top of the world.
Yes. You know, that time, any small thing that comes, you feel like that's the greatest. That's the best, you know. So the parents actually did well. So I really commend them for that. And I also commend JAM for the follow-up, you know, because now I see that our educational systems, they are following up any matter that comes. At least we've had 2 of these cases on this show, and subsequently more. Because I know there are still many bad eggs. If they continue to catch these bad eggs, sanitize the system, you see the system will be clean and clear. Why did he not go and have such conversation with a male student?
No, he can't do that because... Okay, Pope says same-sex blessing is allowed. Okay, but we are saying it's not allowed, so we are still there.
Go to Rome and do that one.
All right, at the last story for today, governors from Jos elected under the People's Democratic Party expressed concern yesterday over the country's security challenges. They emphasized the need for the decentralization of the current policy structure and advocated for the establishment of state police nationwide as the crucial step in overcoming the prevailing security issues. Chairman of the PDP Governor Forum, who is also the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, who spoke on their behalf, said, "We are just being very honest with ourselves. We are not just acting unreasonably with Nigerian police or the security agents as they are doing their best, but certainly the ratio between citizens to policing is very low, and the state knows the peculiarities of their state and local government and their towns and villages, and even the crisis of community crisis and others. We have also always been advocating there is no distance between the governor and the national level, but we need to get some decentralization of the security apparatus so that we can enhance good governance by having good state police. And again, that will also allow us to engage the structured security agencies to train our youth and also make sure the rules of engagement are not absent. There are no extrajudicial killings on and so on. We will work in a tandem with established practices globally rather than just to be forced to be doing vigilante. Even on the vigilante, we are doing our best to make sure we are involved in the security agencies, but we are still being accused. We are copying from Omotokun. They are talking about state police. We have seen what happened in Zamfara, of course. We have seen what happened in Castina and other places. We've seen a lot that has happened between December and now. So they are coming up, the governor said they should come up with the policy of having state police. You know, what we do have mostly is vigilantes in different communities and all of those. And because they are not well equipped with some kind firearms and equipment, they can't possibly do what they're supposed to do. Yeah. Now, let me find out, do you think that this will help, have a way of helping to cope the insecurity in our society?
Very well. It will 100%. It will have a whole lot to do when it comes to security in our society. But the question I would like to ask the governors is, how many of them can pay the security operatives? How many of them? One thing is to establish it. The other thing is to fund it. And the next thing that follows is to continue funding it, to keeping it. You know, federal government in their own wisdom have seen the lapses of state governments, that even state governments are not able to pay even their civil servants. Now you say they should come and have state police. It's sweet in your mouth to have it. It's good. It's perfect. That's what we need now, following the security issues in the country. What we need now is a state police to add with the federal police.
So you think, and now we have federal police, right? If you bring the state police in, they're still going to do what the federal police are doing, right?
Yeah, the job is almost the same thing.
It's almost the same thing, if not the same thing. Yeah. So, I mean, is it that they are going to be more dedicated than this one? And you talked about payment. What if they are not being well equipped? Because we're talking about that in the country, that security agencies are not being taken care of as it ought to be. And then you talked about continuity. So what is the tendency that they will work better? We have vigilantes. The moment they appoint them, you will see 1 or 2 weeks, they'll be so up and doing. And then after that, you barely see them on the road. So what is the tendency that are going to do what the federal police are not doing?
Yeah, if we talk about state police, we are looking at the sheriffs and the cops in other countries. You see, the sheriffs are like a small unit police. A small unit police, let's say, for instance, an estate police.
Like customers.
Yes, so these persons are very close to the persons living there. They know everybody to their houses, you know. So if we have such policing, they know you. The sheriffs know you. These persons, these cops, they know you. They know your house. Not the conventional police we have now are far from you. So you have to call the police. The police now start calling before they will now move their cars and come. You know, it has taken a whole lot of time. So, but if we could have community police in the sense that they live with you in your community. They stay with you in your house. They are very close. But the problem and the challenge I'm having with it is funding. Can the governors fund it? The next administration that is coming, can he continue paying them? Will they not use it to play politics?
They are serious about this.
No, you know, if they can make laws where one, The payment has to be automated, whichever way. The governor don't have to come today and say, I don't have money now to pay. It has to be automated. So whether you like it or not, the money comes straight from the federal purse and then goes into their account. If they can do it like that, better first. Second, if they also make a law that these persons automatically during elections becomes handicap, they have to shut down, so they will not use them for politics. They become handicap. It will also good. Then also third, if the governor cannot give them order, say go now and catch this person is challenging me, go now and do this one, stuff like that. So they will not use it to witch hunt each other. That's where the fear is, because our politics is not yet matured.
Well, we believe once this is being implemented, rules and regulation will be there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't bring an object without putting manuals in it. So let's hope that they will, of course, are listening to you.
Yeah.
So they are going to do all of this to be able to have a very strong state police. We will just have to drop the curtain here for today.
Yeah,
Thank you
good.
so much, John Kelly.
Thank you very much.
It was nice having you on the show.
Yes.
I am Immaculata Irikana. If you miss out, you can join us on all our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, or you can watch us on our website at atlanticnetwork.tv. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching, and continue to stay connected till we come your way next time.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.